All right, what's good, YouTube? New tips video for you guys. Not really requested, but kind of requested. Ignore me in the tank top. I just didn't feel like changing for this video. It's kind of like a spur of the moment thing. Anyways, this video is a video on how to get out of a slump if you are in one and how to avoid falling into a slump altogether in MLB the Show. Now, bunch of little things you could do here and there to help it, and there's some big changes to make and some little changes to make. All that together could really help you get out of a slump, and honestly, if you keep doing them every single day, avoid getting in one in the first place. I think playing a lot of games in a row or playing a lot of hours every day in a row leads to slumps. I really do believe that, and this is coming from someone who plays every day. I try and limit my time to play on stream, and that's it. I don't really play much off stream unless it's grinding for something. That's really it. But anyways, what do I do if I'm in a slump? It's almost like what I do when I warm up, just generally speaking, but I'll be a little bit more tailored towards a slump. First of all, I go to file management and I load my rosters that I hit with. It's DD rosters. Thank you, JR, for making rosters of players that you would see in Diamond Dynasty. Now I'll load sliders. These are my BP sliders. What are these sliders and how are they different than normal ones? Well, here it is. The sliders I have are, let me go to options. You know, honestly, let's just go to sliders real quick. I'll show you guys before I do anything. It's good. Yeah, okay, here we go. Computer strike frequency max. I want them to throw me the most strikes so I can hit. Fastball pitch speed 3 ticks up. Off speed pitch speed 3 ticks up. That's the only changes I make. Now, why do I do that? I want every fastball and every off speed pitch I see to be just quicker on my hands. Because offline legend versus online legend is not the same thing. I want to be able to get blown away in practice, because if I'm squaring up fastballs or tight screwballs from Valenzuela on Legend in practice with boosted sliders, when I get into games, I'll be ready to go. Everything's going to look like a damn watermelon. So, hop into practice. When you use this roster that JR made, you pick the Angels as the away team. You pick Houston as your team. Queue into whatever park you want. I'll be going to Scam Industries. That is my created park. Here we go. Now, I'll get into more specifics about how I approach mentally hitting to get out of a slump. Or to just stay away. They're the same thing. Staying out of a slump and getting out of one. Okay. Who will I see? What is an at-bat? It's pretty casual. I'm going to go with Chipper Jones. We'll do, yeah, Chipper Jones versus Corbin Burns. Pretty textbook matchup right now. Now, let's go to my settings. Right now, I'm doing pretty well. I recently was in a slump, and I changed to my Slump Buster PCI, which is like if you're struggling in all aspects and you need to just feel more confident when you're hitting, this is my PCI. I'll show you what it looks like, guys. You go to altitude, no inner, outer reverb, 100% cyan, no fade out for PCI. Change to it. Look how big this PCI is. This is a Legend PCI. It tricks you into thinking you're hitting with a bigger PCI than you normally would. Just got gassed up a little bit by Corbin. It's okay. This isn't about me hitting the ball right now. This is about me telling you what I do. It actually works. This PCI is pretty solid. Bounce it around a little bit. Move in and out. Move in and out. Boom, right back up the middle. Now, what's the mental approach if I'm in a slump? Well, if I'm getting blown away from a sinker or a cutter, if I'm just getting beat, if I find myself going, oh, I have no idea what's coming in account. I have no anticipation of a sinker. I'm thinking sinker, a cutter comes, vice versa. What do? I would start with trying to cover my weaknesses first. So what are my weekend? If right now I'm getting beat on up and in sinkers, I'll cheat up and in. And this way I can cover the outside cutter if I'm cheating up and in. Camera focused. Yeah. Come on. Come on, focus up. Unfortunate. It'll have to do for the time being. So I cheat up and in. Look away. If I'm cheating from where I'm weak, if I'm cheating on up and in sinker, I can cover everything else relatively well. I'm covering the pitch that's beating me badly consistently, and I'm covering that weakness. Now, what's the next thing I should do? Stop swinging early in the count. With pinpoint, you're going to get a lot of dots in your at-bat. You might get 0-2 very quickly in a lot of your at-bats because you got sinker back door, cutter front door, dot, dot, and you just got blown away. Fine. Maybe you'll get an 0-2 cookie. And even if you make out that at bat, making this pitcher work, especially a guy like Corbin Burns with a lower stamina, you got to try and get more pitches out of this guy and try to avoid swinging early in the count at pitches that are borderline. Even if you crush a pitch, if it's right on the black, man, there's no chance you're going to get a hit. Not a guaranteed chance, I should say. Pitch right there. If that was a good swing, I still wouldn't get a hit. It might go right to the third baseman despite my PCI being all over it. You have a lower chance of getting a hit when you square up balls outside of the zone. That's me getting blown away by Corbin Burns. Those are a couple settings changes I would make with my PCI if I was in a slump. The slump buster's #1 change I'd make. Gonna go back to my normal PCI wedge, blah, 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 all that stuff. Here's some more settings changes you guys could do. This one is a little bit more specific to me, but it might help you. It's helped out a lot of people I know, even though it was a personal change for me. It's helped out a lot of people I know from my chat. Strike zone high works for me. As a strike zone player now, I switched to strike zone high. This is strike zone high was the camera I spent most of my time in 20 hitting on. Now, what do you notice about this camera angle, right? Not as close to on the box from the strike zone, so you have a little bit less time to react. In a sense, you don't see the ball as well. But here's what I think about strike zone high. You don't feel as choked by the pitch. You have a lot more room to work with, and maybe I'm not used to this camera angle right now, but maybe you can recognize a pitch earlier. What I find with strike zone high is that I have a lot better of a time when I'm identifying pitches lower in the zone for strikes. I don't chase balls in the dirt as much on strike zone high. That's why I liked it. I mean, I was always good at recognizing up in the zone, so I couldn't tell a difference if strike zone high up in the zone or not. But I did notice that strike zone high really does help with identifying balls low in the zone. So if that's your problem, it's a big problem for some people. They can't lay off the ball in the dirt, curveballs in the dirt, sinkers dropping below the zone. Try strike zone high if you're already on strike zone or strike zone 2, whatever you're on. Try strike zone high. Give it a shot. Maybe try that with the slump buster and see if that works for you guys. That's another thing I do if I'm in a slump. Okay, so a common slump people are faced with, batter-wise, I should say. We'll go to Trout, and we'll still hit against Corbin Burns. Righty-righty, sinker up and in. A lot of guys tell me that they get beat by this. Sinker up and in, cutter low and away, righty-righty. What do? Cheat to your weakest. If you're weak on a cutter low and away, cheat down and away. If you're weak sinker up and in, like that's where I would be weak at, mostly. I mean, I feel like everyone's weak up and in, righty-righty with a sinker that's 97. Cheat there. Start here. There you go. And also, before I even continue with this, change your PCI pre-pitch warm-up. If you're someone who holds their PCI like this, and that's how you play, you cheat to your spot and you hold it here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ignore that. That just felt gross. If you hold it here, that's what you normally do when you cheat like this, which sometimes I do. Try something else. I've done a bunch of different things. My pre-pitch warm-up now is to do this. A banana. I banana up and down. I feel loose. Banana, circle around. Circle, banana, banana. I go clockwise, counterclockwise. Keeps me loose, keeps me flexible, moving my PCI in any direction it needs to. And as the pitch is coming in, especially against a hard throw, I banana. It gets my timing down. I'm used to... See, like, that's going to be hit every time. You circle, keep loose, keep loose, keep loose. Banana, because you're still cheating in the area weak in, and then rake. Because with the banana, you're still cheating on where you're weak. For me, personally, which is sinker up and in. Boom. I'm swinging at anything right now just to prove a point, but I'm honestly right all over all these pitches. I'm seeing everything fine. My timing is immaculate. I know what he's throwing to me, even with boosted sliders. Up, keep moving, keep moving. That was actually disgusting. Sorry, Corbin just destroyed my ankles there, but that's the idea. If you're stationary, try the circles into a banana. And if you're someone who's fidgety with their PCI normally, which is kind of what I do most of the time, try being stationary. And then I would say even a step further, stationary and cheat where you're weak. Start here. Right back up the middle. If you find that you're smashing your PCI too much, start stationary. If you're finding that your PCI just isn't moving to where it needs to go, you feel like you're always a half step behind, start with your PCI in circles, clockwise, counterclockwise, and then before the pitch comes in, do the banana. That's all I could say about it, guys. There's really not much more to it when it comes to busting slumps. I've given you what I do with my PCI. I've given the camera changes I'd make. I give you my approach. I could give one more thing here, one more specific thing that I've talked about, lefty-lefty, which is a huge, tough matchup. This isn't really a slump. It's not easy to hit Chapman at all, lefty-lefty. But in case you're really struggling, what do I do when I'm struggling? I personally like to go with a not banana, not circles against Chapman. I don't think it works. I like the stationary hit against Chapman with my pre-pitch for my PCI. Up and in hard stuff. and then allocate downward. Look at that. Home run. Boom. That's on 98 from Chapman on boosted sliders on legend difficulty. That is what I do. I start my PCI up and in to avoid getting locked up by Chapman, and in the weakest spot, I hold the stationary. You don't have time to move your PCI around like that. You got to cheat, and if it comes off speed, that I can't help you with a sinker, guys. You're always gonna be in a slump with that. You gotta just be cracked to hit that. It's just too tough. 95 with that much break on your hands. I'll look at if it's a slider low and away. That fastball gas me a little bit. I'm gonna try and see if you can throw a slider here. I'm gonna make him do it just so I can show you what it looks like. I will cheat up and in, because that's where I'm gonna get beat. You can't flick up and in against Chapman. You'll never reach it. Start. Okay. Plus, it helps you identify pitches sooner. You look for the bounce of the slider out the hand. You look for the horizontal slash kind of horizontal vertical mix of both. Bounce from the sinker. Start up and in. And drift down. Now, normally if I was cracked or warmed up, I would make somewhat contact with that. But that's what I got for you guys, man. That is all I have. I showed you what I do with my PCI pre-pitch. I show you what kind of PCIs I use if I'm struggling, if I'm not struggling. Always change it up, guys. If you feel like you're getting stagnant, if you're not making any progress, you're kind of going on game stretches where you're not hitting. If you just get bored, man, try changing up the PCI. I always do that. I always do that. One more thing I would do. This is a great little tip. It works for me a lot. If I find that I am staring too much at my PCI, worried too much about what I'm doing pre-pitch, what I'm doing when the pitch is coming in, where I'm moving it, blah, 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 just go simple. Minimalist. 70% diamonds. Look how, you can barely see it, but it's still there. Now you're focused entirely on not what you're doing with your PCI, but where the pitch is. Entirely on reading the pitch. That's all you're doing with that PCI. There's nothing to think about. It really simplifies things. This is the simplifier. If you're overthinking when hitting and you really want to just break it down to the basics, this is what you do. Now, if you don't know who I am, I do know what I'm talking about, guys. I was a top 10 lifetime player in MLB the Show 20. I'm rated like mid-900s right now in the new season. I think I'm top 35 lifetime right now in 21. I'm a pretty good player. I'm good enough to know what I'm talking about. I'm a routine legend player. Always make it, World Series quite quickly. I do pretty well. My record right now in ranks like 115 and 16 or something like that. It's pretty decent. It's good enough to know what I'm talking about. Ain't the best, but I'm certainly not the worst. So, give you a little bit of background, so I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. This is legit. But this is the last thing I'll leave you guys with in case, you're overthinking it, which might be the case in most slumps. So that's a pretty good swing right there to end it. Slider up. I reacted well. Focus on the pitch, not on my PCI. That's all I got for you guys, man. I really hope this helped you out. I've been really enjoying putting out these tips videos. I think I let out more than I even thought I knew about this. It's nice to share my thoughts. I love to see people in the comments tell them that something I said clicked with them and it made them figure something out on their own, or even just to get out of a slump with that tip directly. Really lights me up. So hopefully it works for you guys. If you enjoy the video, man, really leave a like and it'd mean the world to me. Comment down below, tell me your thoughts. Sub to the channel, put that bell on, guys, so you don't miss when I post every day at noon Eastern, with some sprinkled in, just like this one, which will be posted at 8 p.m. So I hope you guys find some help in this video, man. It helps you out, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.